Welcome everybody to Bedford High School in Bedford, New Hampshire, as we bring you tonight's Division I boys soccer tilt between the host Bedford Bulldogs and the Londonderry Lancers, who are visiting this evening for the 7 o'clock kickoff. I'm Corey Munster-Tiger here. I'm joined by Bill Klein here in the booth. Bill, great to see you. Looking forward to a fun season and a great game tonight. What are you looking for tonight?
Well, certainly the weather's cooperating after all that rain we had. The team missed the game on Tuesday because of the weather. The Wyndham game wasn't played, but the exciting thing is we started off this year kind of like the opposite of last year and beating Central 2-1. I was down in New Jersey when the game was played, so I wasn't here, but I'll tell you, I think we've got some opportunities. The team's still young. Sophomore class, I understand, is great, and the upcoming freshmen are going to be fantastic. And I'm looking forward to a good game here. Londonderry's record is 1-1-1, where we're 1-2, and it should be a good match.
Those two losses after that opening win against Central have come against Manchester Memorial. They lost 4-2, and then against Hanover 2-0. Londonderry, as you mentioned, is 1-1-1. They lost their opener against Nashua South, tied Portsmouth, and then beat Salem 3-0 most recently. And that looks like that came in from yesterday. So back-to-back games here for the Lancers. Teams are huddled up. Kickoff is straight away. Should be a good tilt between two athletic teams here tonight. And we're looking forward to some action.
As far as I know, we've got a healthy squad, Corey.
As far as I know, I don't know of any significant injuries on the Bedford Bulldogs side. Of course, I wouldn't know from the Lancers side, but starters for the Bulldogs tonight are Richie Black, Colin Johnson, Eli Kaplow, Tavis Wallace, Gavin Diaz, Grayson Grenier, Elliot Texiera, Cole Deal, Jake Harding in net, Ethan Benjamin, and Jack Tulin. As play gets fired up here pretty quickly. Challenge down the left wing, chased by Timothy Damaris, but that goes out of bounds, so the Bulldogs will have a throw-in.
Londonderry's had a really fine program over the years. Back years ago, they had probably would put together at least 10 seasons in a row where they would qualify for the tournament. A little surprised with their opening record, Corey, but any year things can change quickly.
Absolutely. You have waves of talent coming in and out, sometimes grouped with classes right together, so you get a strong program for a few years, but go through the peaks and troughs, and that gives you whether or not you have a perennial powerhouse or a middling squad. Both teams kind of feeling each other out here as the ball is bouncing around, pinballing around, a lot of time in the air. You'll see them try to bring it down and find feet. Starters on the Lancers side: Ethan Monroe, Jason Riley, Stefan Sandu, Timothy Damaris, Owen Evans, Sullivan Street, Jackson Lewis, Hayden White, Spencer Broussard, Brady Jonkus, Connor Koza. I believe that's it. I'm not sure Ethan Monroe is out there. I think I read that wrong off the roster. I believe he's one of the substitutes for this evening's game.
Just had a little bit of an attack going there for a moment after Londonderry had the first few minutes of the game with the ball down in our end. Unfortunately, nothing actually transpired from that.
Lancers earn a throw deep along the far sideline. That's Aiden White fiddling, loses the ball. Grenier to Diaz. Converged on there by the Lancers. Away with it was Jackson Lewis. Deep cross. Challenged. Harding comes out of net nicely and shields the ball out, earning the goal kick. Challenging was Timothy Damaris.
That was interesting that he played it really well body position-wise, because the other Londonderry player would have had to foul him to get to the ball. And
One positional change we've noticed here, Ethan Benjamin's on the back line playing center back. He was in one of those holding mid positions in the opener. So it seems like Coach Pepper has made some adjustments with his lineup.
But it's laggy on our YouTube? I think that's just...
That's a nice touch there, and then the back pass too. I think that's
Diaz. Moving it along now. Tulin back to Diaz. Another quick little touch pass inside. That was to Elliot Texiera.
Elliott's our leading scorer at this point. He's put the ball in the back of the net twice.
Shot wide this time. I believe that was that was Grayson Grenier.
The other goal scorers for us in the first two games was Colin Johnson and Grayson Grenier. When you said that name, it piqued my interest on that, Corey.
Yeah, 2 goals in that opener. I was fortunate enough to broadcast that game. The goalie for Manchester Central, I know for sure, wants both of those goals back. Certainly the second one. The first one was a free kick from the far side, maybe about 5-6 yards outside the 18-yard box. Tough angle. I believe the goalie thought he was going to serve it in far side and actually shot it hard and low and caught the goalie off guard and slipped right under him.
I've been meaning to watch that game on the replay on BCTV, which is available after I...
Nice move there by Deal to make some space for himself. Into the middle.
Nice
now back little 1-2. Yeah, it was great. Goalie comes out to pick that up, though.
Some nice runs, player to player.
Jason Riley came off his line to interrupt that attack there. Now Grenier back to the middle to Tulin.
They're on the 23 and 72. When you see that back,
finds some space using Tavis Wallace along the right back position. Now deep in, across, right to Diaz's feet, but he can't corral it. Tough first touch there. Tulin deep in the corner. That's a dangerous ball there. Can't quite get it through. And one of the Bedford players ends up in the net.
There you go.
That was a dangerous ball. I believe that's Cole Deal that was right there next to the goalkeeper, as you see on the replay here.
Look, he went up and wasn't touched. It was just his motion that...
Yeah, no foul there. Just an aggressive play, trying to get ahead on it and get the Bulldogs on the scoreboard. Richie Black deflects the ball out of bounds. Lancer's throw.
Serving that ball up into the goal area like that is, a great way to test the keeper, and if one of our players has that opportunity to make a run on it like he did from behind to launch himself up and at the ball, it's not that hard to potentially get a goal there, because even if the goalkeeper's up in the air, unless he fouls him, his momentum's going towards the goal.
It was an unusually high ball, too. Usually you see those crosses, maybe they're 15, 20 yards off the ground. That was exceptionally high and caused some problems for both the defense as well as goalkeeper Jason Riley.
We've got Andrew running her camera up here in the booth. I don't know who's back handling the replays, Mr. Jennings.
No, that's
Dale Bird.
He's
Dale
doing
Bird.
both from here.
Yeah, he's back in the studio helping us out. We appreciate the entire BCTV crew helping us out with this broadcast this evening,
as well as our athletic director, Corey Parker, who's always supporting our group up here in all the sports, obviously.
We only half appreciate Corey Parker, though. No, I'm just kidding. He's here in the booth here. We're just giving him a hard time. Man has a tough job, catches it from all sides, and especially now on BCTV, I like to give him a hard time. Deep ball here, corralled by Eli Caplow. Has plenty of time to survey the field. Plays a deep ball. Diaz close to getting a flick on there. Couple of head balls back into the middle, and now Grenier runs onto it. That's going to be a foul.
And I was just going to say, Corey, there haven't been, I don't know if that's a first foul or second foul, but very few whistles so far.
That's good. It's clean. Your boys are playing hard. Good shoulder-to-shoulder contact. We know it's a physical sport.
Fortunately, that played well off his foot. Gavin.
Quick footwork there by Diaz. He's something special. He really is. Not necessarily the huge stature that you see on some players, but his skills are outstanding.
He absolutely makes up for it on his skills. I've watched last year. I remember watching him, and you could see that his head is up. He's not looking down at the ball necessarily. He's looking around him, knows who's around him, what he's going to do with the ball before it gets there.
Subtle moves help him create space as well, and his foot speed is outstanding. Ball into the box here, and we have a goal.
Whoa!
Cold deal.
Hey!
Mixing it up in the middle. You see it on the replay right off of the throw-in.
Here comes the throw.
Little head there, and gets a foot on it. And Riley didn't come off his line nearly quickly enough to challenge that ball, and Deal puts the Bulldogs on the board.
I got to stick this in, Corey. Goal!
Cold deal.
Sorry to get that in quicker, Corey.
No problem. Senior striker.
Oh, my goodness.
Gets his first of the year. And the Bulldogs are off to a great start. Just about 8 minutes into the game.
This clearly looks to me, considering the fact, although they played 3 games, this is the first one, as I mentioned earlier, that I've been here for and been able to see. And they look like a much better team.
Great ball here by
nice.
Caplow. Kept in along the sideline. Outstanding run there by Tavis Wallace. Gets the cross into the box. Dangerous position. But the Bulldogs will regroup. Service in again. Fought for deep by Deal. Another great scoring opportunity, but can't get it to go. That was Grenier deep in the box.
Corner kick coming here, I believe.
We do have a corner. Colin Johnson runs out. He'll be taking it from the far sideline. Right-footed in swing.
Before the ball actually went out, it looked like it could have been out, and I was looking where the official was. He was kind of up the field, wasn't down there on the goal line.
Service in and doesn't stay on the field of play.
If anybody out there follows UNH soccer, they've had a tough start after being in the top 10 preseason in their games, especially the second loss to BU. They had, I believe it was 12 corners to only 2 for BU, which is a huge indication that they were the offensive attacking team and should have won the game. They couldn't put the ball in net, couldn't finish. Lost 1-0. Corners, ideal opportunity.
Say effectiveness in that final third.
Mr. Diaz, I believe.
That is Diaz. Through the midfield, distributing to the far side. Richie Black, back to Benjamin. His pass to Diaz gets interrupted and Caplow retreats. He'll let his keeper Jake Harding come off the line. And he'll punt it up the field.
Bounces around and chipped into the middle there.
Lancers back line's having a tough time here. We're going to have a handball there on Cole Deal. But the Lancers are having a tough time with some of the speed and the high press here from the Bulldogs.
Corey, I was looking at the rule changes this year, and they're very, very few. There was one that was a little odd that they changed the definition of a handball as far as the anatomy of the player's body and specified that you go from the armpit up. That's an arm. I thought that's always been an arm. I don't know why that had to be changed. But it's an arm ball now, I guess.
Okay.
I'm joking, however.
Right.
But
we appreciate the further definition, though. Certainly there has been a change in the handballs in general, right? As far as intention, in the past few years, their interpretation at least has changed, whether or not it's an intentional or a natural position of the hand being extended away from the body, and whether or not the player gains an advantage from it.
You could serve as a rules interpreter.
Okay.
A clinician.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll put your name in for it. It doesn't pay much, though. It's a volunteer position, Corey.
Okay, all right, I'm out.
That's a good point, though, and it's very true. Unfortunately, from youth soccer, parents, and mostly the parents, I think, versus the players that come up from youth soccer, see an awful lot of, here we go, nice ball. Oh, goalkeeper was there. The players coming up anyway from youth soccer, many of the younger kids, when the ball hits the hands, everybody yells, it's a handball, and the referee blows the whistle just to appease everybody, I think. But here, it like you said, Corey, it's got to be intentional.
Nice subtle move there, again by Diaz. And there you go, you see that hand on Grenier just at the penalty spot. So
got it on replay. You'll see it as it's chipped across there by, I think that's
Diaz getting the ball into the box. Dangerous position. It glances off Grenier's hand. We'll get a foul here as Tulin comes in. He gets taken down by Demare. Sorry if I'm hacking your name up, Timothy. Not sure if you go with the French pronunciation or the silly American way of pronouncing it, but either way, all due respect.
I'll bet most of his family, and he's here, so probably nobody really will have a problem with that tonight, Corey.
Fair enough. Colin Johnson's free kick probably didn't get the result he was looking for. Caplow, though, breaks up the counterattack.
Yeah, that certainly did not seem like he intended to kick it along the ground. Usually it's chipping it in at a bit of an angle away from the goalkeeper, draw the keeper out a little bit and have a player rush in on it. That air ball like we saw earlier that almost turned into a goal.
And it's fun to see the development of these kids as they get into the high school. They get better and better at taking the ball out of the air. Certainly in the youth levels, perhaps you get a volley here and there, but the kids aren't really excited about sticking their head in the way of that soccer ball as it's coming in. But as you get to the high school level, those corner kicks opportunities and dead ball free kick opportunities in a threatening position, it's fun to see them develop, get aggressive, and really go after it from an aerial standpoint.
And they do. Over the years, I think one of the areas that U.S. soccer has improved in is the use of the head and flicks, not just heading the ball directly in a goal-like direction, but being able to flick it across to a teammate. Some of the nuances.
Of course, those glances or flick-ons opening up scoring opportunities for players as the deflections are unusual motion for the ball, and defenders have a tough time, and goalkeepers alike have a tough time keeping up with those glances. Attacking players are practicing that consistently, whether it's free kick, spot foul kind of opportunities, corner kick opportunities, set pieces, as they like to call them. It's Jackson Lewis playing it back to his D. Cole Deal steps in, wins the ball nicely. Johnson shanks one, though, and the Lancers will get a throw in near side with Jackson Lewis. Oh, excuse me, that's Sullivan Street. And he gets it to Jackson Lewis. Along the back line to Spencer Broussard. Good battle in the midfield here. Grenier comes away with it. Nearly gets taken down. Does well to keep his balance, and that seemed like a handball too, and that will get called.
Yeah, the trail official picked up on that. That was a nice call. That's the kind of one that whether it's actually intentional or not, you can't tell. But when it's put down and a huge advantage is made, the whistle blows. That's a nice call. Of course, it was for us too. So maybe I'm biased, Corey. But
Just a touch, just a touch. So this is a little bit far out to really try to strike on the goal, right? Are you looking for a quick chip to get somebody near the 6-yard box?
If this kid has a foot that can strike it, he's got plenty of space. There's a full 10 yards there. I'd like to see him hit it, which
And
he
does. And just high. It hits the football crossbar, so just high. But he sure goes at it, as you can see from the replay here. Thanks again to Dale Bird back in the studio for providing this functionality. A little high. But as you mentioned, he's got the strength. Why not give it a go? You have the most open area to shoot on. The goalie has the most to cover.
And like you said, a set play in that situation can also be the rebound, and our forwards being prepared to attack the ball that either comes off the keeper or off the crossbar or post, of course.
Played out of bounds here by Street, so the Bulldogs will have a throw.
They've been putting on some good pressure, Corey. I like their attitude or something tonight, their efforts that they're putting in to cover the whole field, move around, not stand around.
A lot of time in the attacking half.
Definitely gone to our favor after the very, very beginning.
1-0 is your score on an early goal by Cole Deal, just 8 minutes into this game. We're going to have a foul here again. Quick restart by Diaz.
Very quick restart. Love it. Love it. Hit it. Oh, here we go. Look at this.
Ooh.
Oh. Ho, ho, ho.
Excellent strike from straight on. I believe that was Colin Johnson.
Was that the same player that took that direct kick?
I believe so. No, I'm sorry. That was Texiera. My bad. That was Texiera on that strike.
Jerry's boy.
Just over the soccer crossbar and hitting straight on of the football crossbar there. So not by too much did he miss that high.
That was nice. Just a little more top spin or striking the ball just a little tiny bit higher.
Get those shoulders over it. Try to keep it down. Cole Deal wins the ball back here. A little too strong on that touch. The Street will have a throw in. Pinballs around there, but the Lancers come away with it. Back there to Connor Koza. Played across the formation as they try to build from the back here.
Nice shoulder-to-shoulder charge there.
Jackson Lewis doesn't get pushed off the ball. Nicely played. Touched out of bounds there on the far side, though.
Throwing coming for us. Bulldog throwing.
Looks like Brett McKinnon on that far side touched it out. So yes, the Bulldogs will throw it. I believe that's Colin Johnson with the ball. Eli Caplow coming forward, breaking up a possible attack. We get a whistle by the trail official. A free kick there for the Bulldogs. Perhaps it was offside. I'm not sure. I saw what the call was there.
No, it wasn't offside. I think it was. He called probably a tripping foul.
Okay.
A charge.
Grenier here looking for Diaz, can't quite set him free. Riley comes off his line. Just over halfway through the first half of play here. The Bulldogs lead 1-0 over the visiting Lancers.
The reason, Corey, why I said it definitely was not an offside call for basically two reasons. Number one, the trail official virtually never calls an offside at the other end of the field. But the other reason was he immediately signaled with his arm pointing towards, for us, pointing towards the Londonderry goal, and then he did not raise his arm overhead to indicate an indirect free kick, which is the type of violation for an offsides versus the charge or trip.
Cristiano Lewandowski Korea with some nice footwork, earns the ball for the Lancers. They work it across their back line. Little chip ahead. Wow, there's some speed along that far sideline. Nicely played out and away.
Another thing Londonderry's been known for is their track teams. Obviously, that's a spring and winter sport, so maybe some of these kids are also on their track team. A couple of my friends from UNH ended up being their high school coaches over there for years.
Richie Black with the throw in on the far side. The Lancers will play it all the way back. The Bulldogs come high. They're really pressing that back line. Giveaway right up the middle. That's Lewis again. His ball out to the sideline a little too strong. Richie Black with the throw. Oh, we're going to have substitution. Never mind. That's Richie Black goes out.
Was there a quick sub there?
There was, yeah. I believe that's Jacob Bielecki that has come in on that far sideline, number 14, with the ball.
I didn't hear any signaling device.
There was a quick whistle, and the fact that Black was there, ready to take the throw right near the substitution box,
We got a
allowed him to
challenge here. Yes.
make a quick sub.
And the official was right there, so he controlled it, and nothing wrong with that.
Bulldog defense up to the task there. There was a threat. Nice little through ball here.
Play on. And you don't see the signal, but looked like there was a possible foul, but we maintained control.
Great speed there by Jackson Lewis, and then a foul.
And this one's a little too far out, definitely probably for an attempt on goal. He shouldn't put it at the goalkeeper because it's going to be easy. You've got the players lined up defensively along the goal line, or that is the goal area line.
Ball in right to Riley.
Hey, you don't want to make it easy for the keeper. Putting it towards him gives him a huge advantage.
Texiera on that free kick. Far side, the Lancers showing some patience here.
Another thing, Corey, I just noticed this, that in addition to the handball conversation we had and how I was mentioning that the spectators' parents and whatnot, it's a little bit different at the real youth level. Another change is the number of back passes. Nice play out. Probably, we're going to see that on replay here.
Caplow got back for that header.
I don't think so. Nope, no replay, but we've got a first Londonderry corner of the night.
Played it out to Tavis Wallace.
With the substitution going on.
Harding came off his line there. It was a threatening position by Timothy Damaris. Got by Harding, but Caplow was there to head it back out towards the sideline, and Wallace was there to head it once again. It does go over the end line, so as you mentioned, the Lancers will have a corner. Handled
nice
easily.
Touch. Nice.
Yeah, that was handled easily there by Caplow. Again, found Diaz. His kick gets glanced off of a Lancer. Near side throw in for the Bulldogs.
Hey, Corey, you know what I just noticed? I don't see any ball boys or girls.
I don't either.
People. I don't either.
Ball ricochets off Tiago Keys, who's checked in, one of the reserves for the Lancers. And now we see Cole Deal trot off. I believe that's Hayante G, who has come in at striker.
I don't think I've seen any long throws by any of our players, really, or Londonderry's tonight so far either.
Yeah, occasionally you get that one or two guys that have the strength to make it almost like a corner if it gets close enough to the 18.
Oh, you bet.
Diaz here. Gets pushed off nicely by the Lancers defense. I believe that was Keys again. Or Street. both in on the play.
The way Gavin Diaz is covering the field tonight, if he's got a Fitbit watch on that's counting his step, he's going to be the winner. He's going to have a huge number. Corner for us coming up.
Bulldogs earn it nicely, as you see here on the replay. Strong throw, and that head ball by Sullivan Street glances over his own end line. So the Bulldogs will have a corner kick near side. Will be taken by Tavis Wallace. He'll approach from the right side, so it will swing out and away from the goal.
Nice. Oh, boy.
Great job by Hayante G to get his head on it. You'll see the replay here.
Yeah, watch the head get to this ball. Nice effort there. Oh.
Solid contact. Just wide to the right, though.
It was a little low, but that player, who was that?
Hayante G.
Hayante G.
Number 10.
That was good. That was really nice concentration on that.
The reserve making an impact within the first couple of minutes of him entering the game. Nice play there by G.
We understand that throughout the season we may see some of the incoming freshmen going to move up as getting an opportunity maybe to show their skills, hopefully not because of any injuries on our players' account.
No freshmen on the roster as of now, but perhaps they'll earn their wings throughout the JV season. Nifty footwork there by Ethan Benjamin to win that ball, but his ball played into the middle, goes astray. The Lancers on a counter strike here. Some speed along that far side. Benjamin there, and we're going to get a foul on the Lancers. The ball's coming out.
Yeah, back after the ball was played out, one of the Londonderry players came up and I think just ran on the heels of one of our defenders for that foul.
Harding takes the free kick.
I think he's got 16 saves so far prior to the beginning of this game, and
hasn't really been tested here except for that one where we had the two headers yielding the lone Lancers corner kick. Ooh. Strength play back there on the far sideline. But the Bulldogs are true to the task. Quinones plays the through ball. Trickles out of bounds, though.
Noticed a number of times that when the ball is being played by our defenders, there's one of the midfielders or halfbacks, we're going to call them, is in position right along the touch line to receive that pass. So it's, if the defender knows it, they're going to be there, they can just put the ball there, knowing that they've got a player all set and open to collect it.
That's a tribute to Coach Pepper, too. The
Absolutely.
Midfielders are playing their system, right? Getting to touch line, providing an outlet for their wing defenders.
And we've got numbers in that situation right there. There was one forward for Londonderry and just the one attacker, and he was surrounded by our players. Unless he controlled the ball longer, it was ultimately going to be won by us.
Nifty feed here by Brady Junkus. But Harding comes out, scoops that ball up.
Number gain again. You can possibly see it on the screen right now that there were only 2 Londonderry attackers, and they were near us. We had 5 or 6 players defending. They're going up and down the field nicely, falling back, but moving up to support their attack efforts.
Lancer throw in. A little overplay there by the Bulldogs. Benjamin gets back into position, but now gets beat, and the Lancers are on the board. Outstanding hustle by the Londonderry Lancers. You see here on the replay, you see the finish right from the 6-yard box. Didn't show you the hustle before the play, though. Number 11 is Christian Lewandowski Correa with the goal there, as he was able to slice through the Bulldogs defense.
Christian Lewandowski Correa.
And he puts the Lancers on the board, 1-1 with 8:39 to go here in the first half.
That's a tough one after all the hard work and the ball control we've had, probably 70%, 75% of the touches. That one run, he took the ball all the way from out around the 20. He's actually 30 yards out where the goalposts are situated.
Foul here on the Bulldogs. Free kick Lancers. Yeah, you have to say the Bulldogs have maintained most of the possession, a lot of time in the Lancers' defensive end. So they can't be pleased with a 1-1 tie at this point in time. Diaz, crafty little play there.
Play on by the official, the right call. No foul. Another good no call.
Grenier's going to get called here, though. Came in hard. It's fine. Just two athletes playing hard, going after the ball. No malintent.
That little sportsmanship effort there, helping the other player out, especially right in front of the referee.
That does go a long way, actually.
Make you look good. I think the referee is actually talking to the Londonderry player, and that's nice. It's good when they do that.
Nice little back heel flip there. Flick.
Oh, boy.
Harding out of his cage.
Ooh.
Is able to keep that ball out of harm's way. Quinones plays into the middle, goes astray.
Nice steal there.
Tulin comes up strong, but he's foiled by Connor Koza.
Possibly see a little bit of fatigue setting in here, maybe, where our players seem to be just touching the ball quickly without making it a two-touch, at least effort to do something with it. And those one touches we're not winning them.
So that fatigue sets in and those one touches become less and less accurate. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yeah, less productive. Before that, it seemed like we were, when you receive the ball, you want to do something with it immediately that prevents it from going immediately to a defender. And then setting yourself up, you look up and you're looking for, who's open or where's some space to put the ball, which you mentioned, I think, earlier on talking about the game. Space is just as important as trying to get the ball actually to a player, and creating that space is critical for the player to run into.
Speaking of space, the Bulldogs take their space, get deep into the Lancers' end, but great defense there by Owen Evans. Shielding out and away and gets that ball out to safety beyond the far sideline.
Just over 5 minutes to go here.
Bulldogs putting some together here, though. Fiddling down that far left-hand corner.
After working so hard, it would be nice to see them score a goal here and at the half be able to feel like their efforts have paid off, bouncing around.
Look at that. Oh, great chance there. Can't finish.
Wow.
That was Grenier deep inside the penalty area.
Bang, bang. And then
you see the replay there. Yeah, it just goes too high.
Couldn't tell who took that shot.
I believe it was Grenier.
Grenier?
And as you mentioned, no ball boy, so the goalie has to chase that ball out of bounds and come back.
Chestnut Street to grab it.
Is that our Bill Grenier's son by any chance?
No.
No. Bill Jennings is our extra statistician, factoid here.
Not related.
Not related.
Diagonal here by Lewandowski, Korea.
I heard Bill say something about Chestnut Street, where I think Bill owns a lot of the property there. Wasn't sure what he was referring to.
I think he was referring to how far out of bounds that ball went. And the Lancer goalkeeper needed to chase it down. Grenier wins the ball here.
Oh, nice touch.
Nice
Look
ball.
At this.
Tulin. Score!
Oh, it's in! Oh, baby, goal for us. Oh, Tulin, is he an Irish player?
Gary's watching too.
Oh, the keeper made a valiant effort like that, but He beat him low.
Outstanding cross there. Beautiful assist by Grenier. Tulin was racing down this near sideline, as you saw it on the replay, and beats the goalkeeper near side. The officials are conferencing for some reason.
See it again. Let's steal the run it again.
Dale, can you quick run that goal again? Let's take a look at the keeper as well, his positioning and whatnot.
It was tough positioning. It looks like, to me, it looked like Riley got across there and was in pretty good position, but Tulin just beat him near side.
Yeah, we didn't have a chance. Maybe we can see it if there's a stoppage coming up.
Number 22, Jack Tulin.
Jack Tulin certainly does sound like he's a lad from Ireland. A shamrock on him. A lucky boy tonight he is.
I would believe that Klein is German. However, it sounds like you might have some Irish in your blood.
My middle name's Harrington.
Oh, Harrington, of course.
Harrington.
You might have some Irish in you then.
Oh, I do. I do.
My mother's maiden name is Barry, so, you know, I think we're two German-Irish goofballs on the radio tonight.
That's right. Your last name, definitely when I saw it, that's the first, one of the first things I thought about you, too. Absolutely. Yeah, I've been lucky to go over to Ireland, and I've met a number of my actual true relatives. Recently, I had one of my eldest cousins is in his early 90s. He has been a priest. He is a priest still. His health went downhill during COVID. He got pretty ill, but he made it and had his 70th Jubilee, celebrating his priesthood, 70 years of being a priest.
Wow.
Another attack.
Diaz, great ball. Can't find Deal along that far side.
Would have been
Crafty, though. Looked like he was winding up for a shot and then pulled it hard left, looking for one of his streaking strikers along that far sideline.
Shortly after I asked for that goal for us, we were successful. 2 minutes to go.
I mean, that's the commentator's blessing right there, right?
Hey.
Beautiful moon is up out over the field at this point in time. Waxing gibbous. Thought you might like to know that terminology.
Are you a meteorologist on the side, or
no?
Waxing gibbous.
Yeah.
Waxing. That sounds like a name of a African gorilla or something.
Just a phase of the moon.
Slimy one that climbs up telephone poles. Or
not quite full. In the next couple of days, by the size of that moon, you'll have a full moon. Bulldogs spirits lifted here with that goal by Tulin, regaining the lead after Lewandowski Korea had knotted it at 1. Of course, Cole Deal opened the scoring 8 minutes in, and now the Lancers have something going on here, but the ball travels over the end line for a goal kick.
That would have been a horrible time for us to give up a corner. That was nice.
Goal kick now here for the Bulldogs. Quick note here, the Bulldogs Athletic Booster Club would like to thank you and to thank our generous sponsors, including Spectrum Marketing, Gear Up Bedford, Andrade Management Group, Wicked Good Butcha, you got to say it like that, Butcha, it's not an ER, it's an AH, New Hampshire Orthopedic Center, BEI Network, London Family Orthodontics, Liberty Hill Construction, Realty One Group Next Level, River Road Pediatrics, and Z1 Express. First half ends. If you're interested in finding out more information about the Athletic Booster Club, visit www.bbabc.net for more information. We appreciate all those sponsors. We appreciate the first half of action here. It ends with the Bulldogs up 2-1 after the first half. Outstanding half of play. We'll take a bit of a break here. Hopefully you'll get some camera time of that moon, and we'll rejoin you.
Here's the goal, our second goal again, Corey. Let me just, whoops, I'm sorry. It was. We just missed it, but we played a number of times there.
All right, here we go again.
Here it comes.
Here it is.
Grenier, great
comes the touch
pass,
across.
far side, Tulin, near side, outstanding finish.
Thank you, Dale.
We appreciate that, Dale. Back in the studio, Dale
job.
Bird is helping us with the replays tonight. 9.5 minutes in the halftime. Please enjoy a few minutes of peace and quiet and not worrying about our voices, and we'll rejoin you for the second half. And we're back here at Bedford High School, ready for second half action. The boys' varsity game as they host the Londonderry Lancers. We'll take a quick look at the goals here from the first half. First one by Cole Deal. You can see him deep in the box here. Squeaks it by Jason Riley for number 1. Deal's first on the season, I believe. Second goal as the Lancers come back and not the score. We'll see that highlight in a minute. As action is underway here in the second half.
You've got the live picture now on your TV set or computer.
Broken up nicely. Texiera into the middle to Diaz. Lewis comes away with that for the Lancers.
Yeah, Jackson Lewis has looked good. He's one of the players that I've noticed out there with a number that I can read, as a matter of fact.
Tremendous speed, too. He's been lightning
Yes,
quick around
he's
this
quick.
field.
He and Gavin Diaz are two of the midfield players that are most impressive to me.
Quickly into the penalty area where the Bulldogs can't make anything from that threat. Caplo volleys it in, looking for his strikers.
Oh,
Ooh, can't quite finish there. I believe that was Grenier, Grayson Grenier. Two quick scores here from earlier in the day. The freshmen beat the Londonderry Lancers 2-0, and the JV squad also won 2-1. Freshmen played Merrimack today, whereas the JVs were playing the Lancers. Upcoming schedules here. Bulldogs will travel down to Nashua again. I believe this game will be played at Stellos as they'll take on Nashua North on the 13th.
does anyone up here know if the Wyndham game has been rescheduled?
No idea. You got me on that one as the Bulldogs look to threaten here. Far side.
The next home game will be next Tuesday evening, which for those of you here in Bedford, that's actually all over the state, Londonderry as well. It's our state primary.
I have the next home game here on this schedule, the 15th. Is that next Thursday? They host Exeter?
Yes.
I thought it was Tuesday.
They played
The
Nashua
13th.
North on the 13th. That's Tuesday.
At Nashua North. You know what? You're right. It is Exeter. Exeter at home.
Just trying to clarify for those viewers and those avid soccer fans out there that want to travel down to the high school.
But the voters, I'd like to see you at the polls.
Get out here and vote in the primary.
Vote during the day, then head down to Stello Stadium and watch the game.
Your voice, your vote. Get out here.
That's great, Corey.
Texiera with the throw. That's one of the big throws that you might be looking for. Foul deep in there, though. Look like Cole Deal getting a bit aggressive, trying to chase down that throw in. Londonderry will be taking on Keene at home on Tuesday, the 13th, and then we'll travel to Dover on the Thursday, the 15th, for their next two games. Riley with the free kick. Pretty much the same as a goal kick from the positioning of that ball. Diaz plays it back, now gets it back. He's playing a little 1-2 touch there with Wallace. now earns the throw for the Bulldogs. We'll get another Bulldog throw as that ball pinballs around on the far sideline. Tulin is in on that. Grenier. I believe that's Wallace. Again, tough to see the numbers here from the press box. The black jerseys and red numbers, they look pretty sharp, but it's tough to read the numbers, especially when you're getting old and gray like me.
There was a great example of the ball being played into space. The Londonderry right side of the field
switched fields beautifully, and as you mentioned, out into open space where Owen Evans was able to run on and propagate a beautiful attack for the Lancers. Nothing comes of it yet. Jackson Lewis down into the corner. Sandu can't come away with it. Deal chips it back into the middle. Texiera now over to Diaz.
One of the things that I had noticed before, and I was going to mention, is when we were talking about the handball difference between youth sports and this, is the percentage of passes that are going back in a match of this level, where both teams are good enough to recognize the times when they don't want to just go to the goal and want to maintain control and set stuff up. And both of these teams are doing it very nicely, well coached. Probably 30-40% of the passes I've seen, I think, have been actually not forward passes. And there's nothing wrong with that. You don't want to be yelling at your kids, even in youth soccer, boot the ball, boot the ball. You're going the wrong way. We've heard that too many times on youth fields. Corey, I'm sure you've heard that from some parents, even though soccer's really improved, and your daughter, at least, that I know, plays, and you followed her diligently.
I have, and I've heard that ad nauseum. And I think two things go on in the players' minds as they start to realize that, one, they get more comfortable with the ball. They get more comfortable passing amongst that back line. The skills are improving. The confidence is improving.
Yes.
But they also are more comfortable in their goalkeepers, who will come off their line and play the ball with their feet instead of just being that precious player who can't ever touch the ball unless they're making a save. They get more confident in their keeper's ability to play as well. You saw the same thing there as they played it back to Riley. Nifty footwork here by Brady Junkus. We're going to get a foul on the Bulldogs. Free kick for the Lancers. Seems to be about the 20-yard line. So,
a real quick replay possible? I didn't see anything at all.
I honestly didn't see anything either, but well, they push him back to the 30, so still a threatening position here.
And that kind of would help determine where the foul was, but still, I didn't see anything at all.
Jackson Lewis plays this ball in right near the penalty area. Head ball and a goal. Oh, but the official is calling this off. No goal. I'm not sure what the call is, but there is some call.
If he puts his arm up, it's going to be offsides. There, I think.
I don't see anything on that replay, unfortunately. It was after the incident. Perhaps there was some pushing and shoving, perhaps a hold, but that goal, or would-be goal, for the Lancers is wiped off the board by this near side official.
We're still at 2-1 here. Almost 10 minutes, quarter of the way through the last half.
You're getting into fractions now. I'm not sure our viewers are going to keep up with you.
0.25, quarter.
Yeah, if you're from New England, particularly the Danvers area or somewhere down there in Boston, you're going to say quarter.
South Shore.
Good strike here. Bielecki, fake, can't quite get the shot off though.
Straight out, so another Bedford throw in.
I have to applaud the student section here. They were going for a white out. A lot of them are wearing white shirts, white hoodies. jerseys cheering on their classmates here. Outstanding school spirit that you love to see. Hopefully we see more of that tomorrow night as BCTV and WBNH will broadcast the football game here from Bedford High School as they will host the Salem Blue Devils.
Have they just played one game so far? I think
One game,
and I know they won.
They lost, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
You know why I said that? Because I believe that was the game the Union Leader printed them winning.
Ooh.
On one page where they just showed the scores of all the games.
Oh.
And then in the article, it was switched.
Okay.
That's
whoops. That's an oops.
On me too for having forgotten that they actually did lose.
Of course, we brought you that game from Stello Stadium last Friday as they were playing Nashua North. A rather inauspicious play right before halftime led to some, we'll say, confusion. We'll leave it at that. But the North team was victorious, 19-7. Bulldogs had some trouble protecting their new quarterback, Danny Black.
Probably have a corner here.
They will have a corner as the Bulldogs will trot out to the far flag stick. I believe this is their first corner of the second half.
I'm surprised we haven't, with the number of corners we've had, we haven't seen either team use a short corner with just passing the ball to a teammate out there.
Johnson serves it in. Great header there, and it's a goal! Outstanding header there.
I'm not sure whose head that was off of.
I believe that's Bielecki, number 14, and that was an outstanding win, as you see here.
He came up high from my angle.
Beautifully timed.
Wow, beautiful.
Amazing.
Boy, what a difference, Corey. One of the things I've got to say is from last year to tonight, what I'm seeing here, this team is highly, highly improved.
Bedford goal by number 14, Jacob Bielecki.
Wow.
Bielecki on that
my
goal.
God.
Beautiful header.
That's the flick that he didn't really put a lot of speed, but just placed it in a spot that the goalkeeper is almost never going to be able to get to. That's amazing. We hit the left high corner on that one and the lower right earlier.
Some fancy footwork here by Johnson. Gets interrupted by Jackson Lewis, but beautiful corner. That was Tavis Wallace. My apologies on the corner, as it looked like it was Johnson, but it was Wallace, in fact. And Wallace gets the assist on Bielecki's beautiful head ball. We were talking about those aerial wins earlier in the game, and here we see a beautiful example of it as Bielecki got up high over the defenders. And as you mentioned, it didn't come with a lot of force, but just had perfect placement in that top left corner.
And speaking of perfect placement, our goalkeeper there was Johnny on the spot. And when I say our, the Bedford keeper held his position well and was able to grab that ball that was crossed in towards him. And that play just like 30 seconds ago.
So just about the 30-minute mark, Bielecki puts the Bulldogs up 3-1. And the Bulldogs hold that two-goal lead, and they'll look to strike again. Diaz, great touch to get himself some space. Plays it near side. Bielecki, lefty, serves it in. Can't quite get it on net. Was Tulin. Got his left foot on it, but not enough mustard. Looks to cut back. It's played out of bounds there by the defender, Sullivan Street.
Very difficult to do what he attempted to do with that, using the left foot when the ball's coming from your left to redirect it back towards the goal.
Tough volley, pretty much his only play. So he didn't really get a great contact with his foot. But as you mentioned, that angle was tough. You really don't have too much time to make a two-touch play there.
However, one of the things I used to coach was boys, if you don't shoot, we're not going to score. I don't care if you goof up. Try. It may bounce off the defender, and whether it bounces in or back to one of our players, at least make the effort to do it, please.
Yeah, you never know. You get a glance off of the defender, like you mentioned. Goalie's out of position. Maybe you just have a beautiful bend it like Beckham moment and you find pay dirt, but anytime you find the back of the net, it's reason to rip off your shirt and run around like you've won the World Cup, I guess.
Hey, and I can't remember the hockey player who was credited with saying this, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Another way to put that in perspective.
Yeah, that's Wayne Gretzky, often quoted by Michael Scott from The Office. Fantastic show if you've never watched it.
Corey, you are a sportsman of wide talent.
I appreciate that.
Football, basketball, soccer, ice hockey. What's next? Badminton?
Well, my forte is actually lacrosse, so.
Why am I not surprised? Oh, my gosh.
Played with Bill Belichick.
That is true. Bill Jennings is bringing up a funny story along the way. So Bill Belichick was a postgraduate at Andover Academy, Phillips Academy, Andover. And I also went there for my high school years. We used to have alumni games.
Oh, okay.
And so at one point, right after his first Super Bowl win, I believe it was in 03, 01, 02, 03, somewhere around there, forget the year. But he showed up as his two children were actually students at Andover that year. And he played in the alumni game. I had no idea he was playing on the field with us. Until the end of the game, he takes his helmet off, and the head coach at the time says, let's give him a cheer.
Oh, my goodness.
And Coach Belichick takes off his helmet and says, all right, let's give him an akalakachi, which is, the cheer for our lacrosse team for the opponent. Pretty funny story.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, when you said, or actually it was Bill Jennings that pointed that out, I'm thinking, no, wait a minute. I'm the one that's Bill Belichick's age as far as if I played against him, but you don't look anywhere close to 70.
No, it was.
And you're not.
No,
clearly.
that's true.
That's
true.
a great story.
Fun story. Different sport, of course. We have the soccer team here. They've been battling hard all night, and they hold that 3-1 lead, the Bedford Bulldogs do, over the Lancers. But yeah, that was a fun one for sure, especially having no idea that he was on the field the entire time until he takes his helmet off at the end. Of course, his son Steve, who's now on the Patriots coaching staff, was a student at the time, so that's what had brought him to the campus. His daughter, I believe, is still a head varsity coach in college. She was at Holy Cross and I think Wesleyan for a time. Not quite sure where she is now. Perhaps still at one of those. Threatened here by the Lancers as they served it into the area, but
the Londonderry spectators thought there was a handball on that, which I think they may be correct that the ball hit a hand. However, from my perspective, I believe what I saw was the ball strike the hand, and now
we got a card.
Responded to that, I believe. That's what the card's for. I think he...
Booking for Stefan Sandu as he was, I imagine, chirping the near side ref here a bit.
Yeah, I think that was egged on by the spectators that I could hear yelling.
I imagine there might have been some salty language. I won't make too many assumptions there, but certainly something was said that the official didn't like. 22 minutes left here in the game. The Bulldogs hold a 3-1 lead. Some substitutions come on for the Lancers.
And that player had to go out and just took a whack at a ball out there, out behind the bench. He's upset. Either he was real close to that play, or he's the one that struck the ball that he thought was handled.
Deep in their own end are the Bulldogs now. Caplow plays it right to the feet of the Lancers, but they can't control.
We've all seen situations. I've been there in the stands just like the Londonderry parents just were spectators, and you see something and it in fact, the official may have missed it. It's an interpretation, and it's decisions made so quickly. It's a lot different than like football, Corey, where you see the officials all get together and talk for 5 or 10 minutes and shoot out, get a cup of coffee, come back, bring up the replay, ask the booth, and then they send it to New York City, where the league office reviews stuff. And here,
last Friday night,
it's just real quick.
Yeah, we won't get into that story.
What you missed is Bill Jennings just said something about last Friday night's football game.
you can see the replay.
But you can watch the replay on
BCTV will show it to you. Find it on the YouTube channel. There's some historical game film on there, and that was the debacle that I was referencing earlier in tonight's broadcast, as the football team the Bulldogs were on the tough end of a bang play, honestly, but the officials did get it wrong. You do like to see when they huddle up, try to get the call right, but it does interrupt the flow of the game. You don't like seeing that as a spectator, and many times the players even get frustrated with that. And they say, come on, let's just get going. Let's make a call, let us know what happened, and then we'll keep playing.
One of the things with soccer is we don't have a big crew. There could be 3 if it's a 3-man system, but most high school games, especially because of the lack of officials, they can't put 3 people on every field. So we got the 2 official system here tonight, and the official, if you picture this, on that questionable call, he was at least 2 times closer to that play than anybody else was up here, including me, Corey, Bill Jennings, and everybody else in the stands. He had maybe a better view of it, however, and he's also unbiased. And we are, the officials, we are unbiased. I almost said we are Penn State all of a sudden there to put a, speaking of football, nice win to open their season.
It's a serious problem all over.
Well, and that's with it. It's a challenge for every sport, and I'll call it out. It's the wacky fans that are causing this shortage. Nobody wants to be an official these days because of the heat and the confrontation and the vehement fans that are confronting these officials and causing a lack of will, a lack of desire for folks to go into those roles. So,
Corey, just real quick, we had an offsides call there, and the official on the far side just point out he's got that hand raised overhead and indicating that it's an indirect kick, and anything else in there usually is a charge, and it would have been direct. You wouldn't have that arm up. An indirect meaning the ball can't go right in the net. Another player, either team has to touch it before it goes in.
Appreciate that explanation.
Yes, and
Bill Klein, of course, again, a longtime official. We appreciate your perspective, and the audience, again, sometimes understands what's going on, but it's always helpful to talk through these plays and help them completely understand what's going on. Great 1-2 here. Can't quite connect on it, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, I remember very, very few negative things that occurred when I was out there on the field, but there was one night we went into penalty kicks. It was a high school semifinal. Nashua and Exeter was playing at Nashua, and back then it was just the one Nashua team. And both coaches happened to be friends of mine, and had a tough call to make. And I was right there at the penalty kick mark, basically, watching the penalty kick being taken, and the goalkeeper fouled the kicker. And it was clear to me, no questions whatsoever, but in giving the kicker for Exeter the re-kick, who scored in the second attempt, put me in a rather tough position, and the fans were all over me down at Holman Stadium.
Oh, wow.
Before Stellos.
Wasn't even Stellos.
No, it was tight. It wasn't the best soccer venue for more than one reason. It's a baseball field. It's not a soccer or football field.
Now, when you say the goalie fouled the kicker, is that meaning he came off his line or made a movement too early before the penalty was struck?
The player back then, and I shouldn't say a penalty kick.
Oh, okay.
Corey, good
this
point.
was
Thank
normal
you.
play. Okay.
No. Back then, I don't remember how many years we did it, but it was a one-on-one situation where the goalkeeper started on the goal line. However, the player started with the ball 35 yards out. So it wasn't the single kick.
Gotcha.
So the Exeter penalty. This is a penalty kick situation to determine the end of the game. Obviously, it was an attempt to improve on the fact that penalty kicks to determine, the winner in a match. It's so tough, especially, the younger the kids, to have that pressure on one goalkeeper and only possibly, 5 or fewer of the field players taking the PKs. It's really tough. So I don't remember what it was called, and I'd even forgot about this until you just brought that up, but a 35-yard one-on-one, and the goalkeeper came out and dove, and it looked like, from the fans' perspective, that he was diving for the ball, but I was right there, and he dove and grabbed the Exeter player's ankles, one ankle, as he was starting to kick. And that ball going in the net just happened to be the winning end of the game.
Tough play. That certainly leaves a mark in all of those players' minds, but certainly your mind as the official making that crucial call.
It's tough on everybody, Corey. Yeah, and it's true in every sport. And like Bill Jennings said, it's not just soccer where we have trouble, getting officials. But I know, having reffed a number of different sports, that ice hockey's another one that can be physical, and the officials are close to the spectators, to the parents, the coaches, and they can get a lot of abuse. So who wants to go out and get paid peanuts to,
Basketball.
to get yelled at? And yeah, basketball, I call that the pressure cooker. Oh boy, oh boy.
Great chance there by the Lancers. Played out of bounds. I believe that was Texiera back on the defensive side for the Bulldogs as they threatened down the near sideline. Good run there.
I think Elliot Texier has been playing mostly at midfield tonight, where prior to this, I think he's played both the forward and defender's position.
Goal kick here. Wow. Corner kick.
Wow. Yeah, that was
trickled along the goal line there. Harding makes a save here, but geez, that was a great opportunity for the Lancers.
I'd like to see a replay if we could of that. That was, I noticed the official that time was down on the goal line, so he had a good view of it.
Here it comes here on the corner.
Very close.
Glanced off a body, glanced off a defender. 2 defenders got heads on it to keep it out of the net. Outstanding play by the Bulldogs D.
And yeah, our defenders were simply standing there, and they still got enough on the ball to keep it moving away from the goal. Another scoring opportunity here for Londonderry.
Lewis steps in. Takes a strike. That goes wide.
Goalkeeper could have picked that ball up, but at this point, he'd rather just take his time and give our players a chance to get a bit of a rest, too, at this point, with just 14 minutes left.
Bulldog substitution. Hayante G comes in. Bielecki will take a seat for a little while. And G comes in and touches the ball immediately and gets a foul immediately. Just under 14 minutes to go here. The Bulldogs still own a 3-1 lead on goals by Deal, Tulin, and Bielecki. The lone goal for the Lancers is Levantoski Korea. That strike coming in the first half.
It's nice to see a lot of different players scoring for us, too. That's fantastic.
Served into the area. Ping pongs around. Playing with it there is Levantoski Korea again. And he gets called for a foul. That was Ethan Benjamin challenging and getting fouled. Draws the call.
You could see from the coverage there that when the official's close to the play like that, he's in good position to make that call. It's kind of hard to argue, especially from the distance that the coaches are at, where I spent my time back there, Corey, being quite upset or disappointed or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
And in the stands with 3 kids that played.
A lot of soccer in your playing days, in your observing days, and now, of course, in your commentating days. Viewers out there are excited to hear your knowledge of the game.
And Corey, I'll tell you, and I don't remember whether it was Bill Jennings or who. There we got
There'll be a foul there on the far side.
Somebody said to me that compared to playing, coaching, and being a parent in the stands, doing this announcing game is probably the easiest job there is in sports. And I think you'll agree with me. It's probably true.
Absolutely. I mean, we're just watching a great game, great contest between two solid teams, hopefully bringing some knowledge to the viewers.
Let's see if this young man can strike this ball well. It's got a good angle on it. His attackers are going to try to move from the right to their left as he serves the ball up to try to flick it in.
Jackson Lewis stands over it for the Lancers. Plays it on the ground into the middle. Shot, score.
Whoa.
Nice set play there by the Lancers, as everybody you can see here on the replay, quite purposeful in a pass there.
Absolutely.
And gave the Lancers a much better angle. That goal there by Brady Jonkus, number 10.
Hard to defend that. It's just the one player that's got the chance other than the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper was probably screened by his own defender there as the ball was turned.
Bulldogs caught off guard.
Londonderry goal by number 10, Brady Jonkus. Assist to number 6, Jackson Lewis.
And Londonderry has been controlling the play for quite a bit of this, at least the second portion, if I may say, the half of the half.
I have to say that was a well-designed play, too, as, certainly the defense and the goalie for the Bulldogs were preparing themselves for the free kick to go on goal as Lewis stood over it. And a well-designed play to get Jonkus free right in that penalty area. Sharply struck ball right on the ground, something he could handle quite well. And he did, and finished.
You don't see that type of a free kick near the net very often at all. But boy, was that executed well. Those two players have probably worked at that for a few hours.
And so we have a 3-2 game. The Bulldogs hold a 1-goal lead, and it makes the last 10 minutes of this game a bit more interesting.
Based on all the stats that I had available to me before the game, this is kind of what I might have expected. As I said when the game was beginning, that I would think these two teams are going to give each other a pretty good game and be a toss-up to see who wins. Londonderry certainly is showing the effort, even though they've been down by 2 goals, to keep plugging away out there. Great attitude. Good coaching.
So this play here, help me understand this. So there was a play on about back at the 25-yard line where they're going to call this foul. We see a replay here, but it's after the play. The play continued for probably a good 5, 6, 8 seconds. The player lost advantage, but they did call it. So how long do you keep the play on?
That seemed like a little long to keep it going. I think that might have been, great run by 23.
That's Brett McKinnon.
One of the few numbers I could see because he's on our near side here. Yeah, that call, the ruling on that was changed back a long time ago, maybe, 30 years ago, where that play on, you give the player the opportunity to make a play, but if you feel that initial foul did impact his ability to continue through with that play on concept where he maintained that's just a...
McKinnon getting a bit aggressive there. Caplow draws the foul.
But Corey, you're absolutely right. That seemed a little long that it came for that whistle to have blown. But again, it's judgment, and that's we're not going to say that the ref who was right there made a mistake. Oh, that was not a nasty foul or anything. That was just unlucky. They just crossed paths running to the ball.
Clipped an ankle. So G gets the foul.
Yeah,
the Lancers will have a free kick. They move it ahead a good 5 yards, as they should try to take advantage every time. Great ball into the box.
No, they shouldn't, Corey. That's bad sportsmanship. In high school soccer, one of the things in the beginning of every rule book for every sport, it's sportsmanship. It's not just who wins. It's a little different than any other. You won't see that in the NBA or NHL or anything else. But high school sports, it is sportsmanship first.
That's fair.
This is supposed to be an extension of the classroom, a learning experience.
Wow, okay. Spoken like a true official. I mean, having played at a high level, I am sure that you tried to get away with everything you possibly could as a player. But now, as an official and an observer, you want fair sportsmanship. I get it.
Yeah, you're right. I'll admit to it. If I was Roman Catholic, I probably would have spent a lot of time in the confessional.
A lot of time in church on Sundays saying your Our Fathers and Hail Marys. I get it.
And trust me, the Irish priest, he would have had no problem listening to me either. He said, "Actually, I agree with you, lad. You know, I think you got a fine attitude. You really even need to be coming and telling me this stuff. I do the same."
So maybe those numbers weren't quite as high as I thought. Your career records on prayers in the rosaries. So we'll see.
No, I've been started Presbyterian for the first quarter of my life, and then Methodist following that. And, but I'll tell you, I've got a couple friends that.
Great chance here to
Goal!
Beautiful long ball here. As you can see, they chase it down on the far side. Great body position.
Nice hit.
One-touch strike gives a goal for the Bulldogs.
Now we've covered 3 of the corners specifically. That was lower left. And let me tell you, at this level, this is what we should be seeing. The youth level, when you go down, you'll notice a lot of the shots go right at the goalkeeper. And goalkeepers, some coaches say, I want my goalkeeper to wear the brightest uniforms, the craziest they can possibly wear. Because then, you know what the kids do? Hit the ball at the goalkeeper. Beautiful ball control. That's 3 awesome goals.
Just an amazing play there by Tulin as he got fantastic body position on the far side. That ball was served off the back line by Eli Kaplow, who gathers the assist, number 4. He's had a stellar game on that back line and now gathers the assist on the 4th goal for the Bulldogs, and they take the 4-2 lead into the last 5 minutes here. Wallace touches it out over the far sideline. And the Lancers are on the ropes again with a 2-goal deficit. A lot of scoring to make up here in the last 5 minutes. We'll see the clock stop at 5 minutes, as is the high school tradition. They'll keep the time on the field. Cole Deal will gather that ball on a free kick.
I think we're going to see a re-kick here.
We are. Tried to go for a quick restart. The official wanted him to back it up a bit. Here it is, the goal again, served by Eli Kaplow. Bounces just outside the 18. You see Tulin here. Great body position and one touch.
One touch, yep.
Similar ball here. Not the same result. Tulin does gather it, though. And now gets forced off. Coach Pepper has to be pleased here with his scoring output. 4 goals on the evening, 2 by Tulin. First goal coming from Cole Deal. And in between the Tulin goals was Bielecki's beautiful header on that corner kick early in the second half. Goals for Londonderry were first half by Leventovsky Korea and second half on that set piece by Jonkus from Lewis.
Right now I see Londonderry to a certain extent showing a little bit of fatigue possibly, and they're doing that same one touch that I think we saw from the Bedford squad near the end of the first half.
Lewis gets forward, tries to serve his striker, but that is cleared out by Kaplow.
And to differentiate that, the one touch that Corey mentioned was the ball in the back of the net by Tulin. That's a different thing. That's where you need the one touch very often, and drove it home.
No clock.
We've reached that 5-minute mark, so the clock on the scoreboard here in the stadium is stopped. 4-2 lead for the Bulldogs. We're seeing a few players cramp up here and there. Notably near side Owen Evans. Looks like he has a hamstring cramp.
Why do they stop it at 5?
Let the official keep it.
Well, tell the people.
So they don't listen.
Let them know.
Ball served into the area again, played out by Benjamin. Bielecki now cuts it back, but McKinnon comes back for the Lancers. Now Spencer Broussard will play it into the middle to Keys. Good possession here for the Lancers. Have the Bedford Bulldogs on their heels a little bit. They clear it out now, and Deal will chase down from the backside Spencer Broussard. Bill, help me out with the timing here. They stop it with 2 minutes to go in the first half and let the officials on the field keep the time. And in the second half, it's with 5 minutes to go. What's the thought process behind that?
Part of that is that in a close match, if you've got limited time left, and keep in mind that the scorekeeper, whoever's got that button, Steve the button man up here, our official scorekeeper, timekeeper, he could be, a little slow or quick on starting and stopping the clock if the officials wanted him to do so, or he might even be distracted and totally miss the officials motioning for a timeout. So this way, the officials they've got their watches set together. They may communicate to confirm that they've got the right time if there's been some stoppages. And
good threat here by the Lancers.
Another possible change.
Header goes up and out.
But what it does is it does give them the opportunity, even though in scholastic soccer it's different than the FIFA World Cup stuff. In those matches, time can be added at the discretion of the official, or if there's a play moving towards goal, they'll let that play go out. They won't blow the whistle while the ball's in the air. It might go into the goal. In both college and high school soccer, when the time's out, so the whistle's blown. So this way, he has the watch rate, set up with an alarm on it, and he knows exactly when the time will expire. And that way, if he's down on the goal line and the ball is in the air also, he is in a much better position to rule whether or not the ball went in the net before time expired. How was that explanation?
That's fantastic. Of course, we're not trying to disparage our local timekeepers, Steve. We really appreciate your help here.
No, and you get paid the same amount, Steve, either way.
Ooh. Bulldogs defense being tested here late within this 5 minutes. They've had a few plays off their back line here as they try to maintain that 2-goal lead.
Every year, there's rules committee for all of these sports, and they are all they get together and new rules are proposed, and sometimes some of the officials, coaches, and ADs that are involved in this are arguing for a rule change to get the sports closer to have all the same rules, but very, very seldom do we see major changes like that.
Deep shot from the Lancers is corralled by Harding. It's got to be close to full time here. Again, the Bulldogs will go to Nashua on Tuesday. Ball here, misplayed by Harding. And we have a goal for the Lancers.
It looked like possibly the defender and the goalkeeper weren't communicating here. Oops.
We can roll that back a little bit more. Yes, I agree. There was a defender there, and Harding had come off his line. Some miscommunication there. And Christian Lewandowski, Korea, will come up with his second of the game, and it's 4-3, a one-goal game again.
We're going to have a new restart. I don't know. I couldn't tell why. I'm kind of watching. I was hoping to see that replay again, but...
Heads up play by Lewandowski, Korea.
Christian Lewandowski, Korea.
Again, like I said before, this Londonderry squad they're tough. They're not giving up.
No, they aren't. McKinnon here chases it down, shielded out by the Bulldog defender, and there's full time.
Which, just real quick, Corey, let me mention that the other thing about that clock being held by the officials is if one of the teams, of course it would be the team that's ahead, in a situation like that might have tried to delay the game, the official then can immediately stop the clock. Corey, give us a recap here.
Sure. Congratulations again to the Bedford Bulldogs as they come away with the 4-3 victory over the Lancers. Goal scoring again. Cole Deal started us off, put the Bulldogs on the scoreboard 8 minutes into the game.
Also at
close encounter with the goalie and was able to poke it by. Christian Lewandowski Korea came back with the strike for the Lancers. Tulin answered that, and it was 2-1 going into halftime. Bielecki's header on the corner kick was a beautiful strike with about 10 minutes into the second half to make it 3-1. Jonkis scored on the assist from Lewis on that set piece to make it 3-2. Then Tulin got a much-needed fourth goal for the Bulldogs from Kaplow on that long ball in and shielded play to have the Bulldogs go up 4-2. And then, as you saw right there at the end, Christian Lewandowski Correa heads-up play, chased it down and didn't quit. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough. The Bulldogs come away with a 4-3 victory. As a reminder, the Bulldogs will travel down to Nashua North Tuesday for a 6 p.m. game against Nashua North, and Londonderry will play host to Keene on Tuesday. Appreciate your time this evening, Bill. We appreciate the BCTV crew. You see that waxing gibbous there, a beautiful moon this evening. A few replays there for viewers at home. That's Cole Deal's goal right there, starting off the scoring for the Bulldogs. Nice hustle by Deal as he got the Bulldogs on the board. Here's the second goal. Throw in from the side. Excuse me, that's the first goal. Sorry about that. That's the first goal there again. Throw in from the side. We talked about that a couple times as being a threat. Here's Lewandowski Korea's first goal as he was able to dribble through a few defenders, got free and clear in a one-on-one with the goalie. He's able to cash from near in. This one here is Tulin's goal. Beautiful pass, far side, and he's able to strike that and go near post. And now here's the beautiful goal by Bielecki. Getting high, goes top left on that header, glances it into that far left side. Outstanding play there by Bielecki.
I'd say both teams are going to leave tonight tired. They've both played their hearts out. And the
free kick there by Lewis to Jonkis. He finds in the middle there for the second goal for the Lancers. And this replay, so we see the score here is 3-2. We'll see, I believe, Tulin's goal next on the long ball from Kaplow.
They're finding it.
We're finding it. We're finding it. Give our BCTV crew a minute to get this replay here. Again, we appreciate all the BCTV crew. Bill Jennings on camera. Andrew Fenn back in the studio with Dale Bird on the replays. Appreciate everybody's help and support for broadcasting this evening's game.
Corey, it was a pleasure for me to be here with you this evening.
Absolutely, Bill.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Great soccer match. Two good teams, well coached, and wow, fans had plenty to watch from both schools to be excited about.
Not sure we'll see the last two replays, but again, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, if you'd like to see the football team, they play host to the Salem Blue Devils tomorrow night. Harry Kozlowski and I will bring you that game, both on BCTV and WBNH. Great night, everybody. Enjoy the moonlight this evening on a beautiful New Hampshire fall evening, and we'll see you next time. Have a great one.